Okay, never mind. Gonna start doing stuff before the emulator starts. Thing has been loading for 10 minutes now. I suspect he's trying to kill my computer. I don't know why it's taking forever. But never mind. So as I said the last time, what I'm gonna change in the save system is I'm gonna try to implement a queue system. It's not gonna be very fast, but at least it's gonna be working first, and it shouldn't be able to bug out or things like that. Once this is implemented, I'll improve it if it works. So yeah, first a queue system. So when you ask for incrementing, let's say the number of energy, and then reduce the clone points, it's gonna be 2 saves, which is indeed gonna take time, but it's gonna work. So for that, I first need to implement an interface, because here, for some reason, I put these functions in the menu manager, which doesn't make really sense, because, well, it's a menu manager. The reason I've done that is because the menu manager is present in every scene and I didn't want it to add one more object. Like I already added the saver, but I didn't want it to add something else because it's already a lot of singletons. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a class which is gonna interface. So you're gonna instantiate it and then you're gonna give it a saver. And it's gonna handle the save on its own, and you're just gonna say, hey, consume a clone point, add a clone point, things like that. Eventually a callback like this if something fails, but hopefully should be alright. And in the background, the class will queue every order and execute them whenever it can. So yeah, let's do this. Is Andy start? Really? You're a joke. You're a freaking joke. I have already used this emulator before and it didn't take so long to start. I suspect something is broken. It's probably confused or something like that. I'm pretty sure something is not working how it should. Because really, it's usually emulated takes time to start, but now this is ridiculous. Okay, come here. Hopefully, I should be able to test my save system in the emulator, so I won't have to push on my phone, and you guys will be able to see what I see and what I do on the phone. Okay. So first, I'm gonna create a class, which means, I don't know, I'm gonna call it, because we already have a save manager, which is a game object. It does the saving. So what I'm gonna do, wow, this is very slow. My computer is dying. Which is surprising, because it's far from being a bad computer. I mean, 8 GB, 3.4 gigahertz, 4 hertz, 4 core. I mean, it should be very fast. It should be fine. I don't know why it's that much slow, and why Andy doesn't start. Okay, I don't care. So this one is a bit dumb, to be honest. So I might want to inherit this class and yeah, like a save manager cube disaster. The only thing that bothers me is that this function will still be visible. But actually it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do save manager cube disaster, which is gonna implement function to manipulate the elements in the save. Okay. So what we want is function like consume clone point, and now that's gonna bother me. So For some reason, if I press up anywhere on my desktop, it's gonna press up here too. I have no idea why. But this is the thing. So you want this. You might want to use system, so we can use action. So an action is a function which takes no parameter, which returns nothing and might take parameter, like this for instance. Okay, consume clone point, recover clone point. Then we've got actually, I don't know why I'm doing consume and recover. It's easier to read, but it doesn't make sense because I'm setting the value anyway. If I had a server with a custom backend, which is not the case here, I could say like add and remove and that would be handled. Or if I was doing this better, I could do it too, but I'm just gonna say set clone point delta. I think that comes from Minecraft, the way to call this. That's where I read that the first time. Nagisphere delta. Max level unlocked. Delta. Actually, it's not delta here. Here it's gonna be push max level unlocked. I think that's all I need at the moment. I actually don't need this neither. Just gonna command them, so I don't lose time trying to implement them. Hi there, Steve. How are you doing? I also need in the constructor to store. Actually, I don't even know if I need this because I don't remember how I handle that. Yeah, here I use the instance. Yeah, I just use this straight up. Okay, that's already present, so I don't think I actually need to specify anything as constructor, because that should work on its own. Yeah, I already have a current game save, which is mainly used to look up value. And this is actually the local copy of the save, I think. I don't think I should have implemented the offline and online save system at the same time already. The offline system is only used for testing, but... How is Andy? Really? Really? You're not loaded yet? I'm not gonna say anything. So I'm gonna need to use the code here. This is for clone points. Here we're simply gonna pass the amount and an empty callback. That way I don't have to check if it's null or anything. Well, I should maybe, but it doesn't make sense to pass. I mean, if you have this and this, why would you pass null here? I don't really care. So, what I need to do now is to create a nested class. We don't need to expose it because it's going to stay hidden inside the Safe Manager Cube Disaster class. Which is going to be, I don't know, save order. I'm not the best at finding names. So we're gonna just store the delta and the max level. And we're also gonna store the callback so we can call it whenever it's done. And I'm gonna put capitals because that's how I like to call public variables. You can hear me? Okay, yeah. It's C#. Just in case you can actually hear me. I don't know why I'm talking in Twitch. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Not really a big fan of JavaScript, and I've never done Boo before, so C# is just the way to go for me. So I said we store the elements we want to store, callback. I'm gonna say the default value is gonna be -1, so we don't have to set it. And if it's -1, the order is gonna ignore its variable. And I think we should be good here. So now, actually I'm gonna get rid of this. Except, I'm gonna keep this bit. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a save order. I'm going to set the clone points delta to delta amount, sorry. Should have named this delta, makes more sense. And I'm going to also set the callback to callback. Then we need, we first need to implement the generic collections, so we can use list. Actually, I'm even going to use queue because queue is a first in first out. If I don't, yeah, first in first out, which means that if I put like A's and B's and C, when I say give me 1, it's going to give me A and then B and then C. If I were to use stack, I would have the opposite. I push A, B and C and I get C, B and A, which is not really what I want, because if I say okay, now you've unlocked level 10 and then now you've unlocked level 11, it's gonna erase the previous save, which is not what I want. So I'm gonna initialize it here, so that way I don't need to use a constructor. It's just, I don't know if there is any point to not do that. And we're gonna enqueue the order. We're gonna do the same here, except we're not gonna use this. We're gonna use max level. Set it here. And empty callback here. Alright. Then we need a function to update, actually to how am I going to do that? I'm actually gonna have an enqueue order. That way I don't have to use an update function or anything. So basically what I do here is I enqueue, and if the count here is equal to 1, which means this is the first element, I'm gonna, like, this is gonna be private, and this is gonna be private too. I'm gonna execute order. I also need to add a flag here, or a bool, as you want to call it. Is executing order. It's going to be set to false by default. And as soon as we reach this, we're going to set this to stuff, and then we're going to set this to false. Undone. So here, I'm going to execute order. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this. We're directly going to execute the order. And we're not executing an order already. We're going to execute the order straight away without storing it, because it's faster. Why would I bother enqueue and dequeue the order if I can just, if it's just to execute it in the same frame? Else, we want to enqueue the order. I'm also gonna give another callback here. Because I want to do something here to avoid having to do other stuff. So when it's done, what I want to do is if this.count is bigger than 1. So if we have an element, at least one element to work with, we're gonna execute the element. So that will dequeue the element, so we remove it from the queue and we straight up execute it. And actually this is not gonna work because I want this to be recursive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it here, I'm gonna do it here. So that function is gonna be recursive. Yeah, that function is gonna be recursive. So here, if we do have something to execute, it's gonna straight up recurse, execute, and put it to true, so we won't be scared by that. There might be some racing issue, so I will try to figure out later. But I might be able to avoid it because Google Play executes in the main thread. So yeah, now moving on to the real saving thing. So we take this. So if the order.clonePointDelta is different from -1, or is more than 0 actually, because we don't care if it's 0, we're gonna set this. We're gonna clamp between 0 and 10 because this is the min and max value. I'll probably change this later. That might be stored in a save actually. We're gonna do the same with the max level. just gonna rename this quickly. So this is gonna be the bigger out of this and this. Basically, we're only gonna keep the bigger. That way, we're sure we will never reach. We will never go below. I'm not entirely sure this is really. I really have to do this, but also that's not where I want to do this. Click here, load current game sync. So first, we're gonna emulate this. So here, we're gonna emulate it. So we're just gonna add a small private function. Which is gonna take a save data copy tester. And that's what it's gonna do. It needs an order to. Oh no, it's not done yet. Just want to do this before I forget. Alright, data here and there. I think we're good. Yeah. So first here we just update the local save data, so it updates in the game instantly. Actually, I don't care about writing this, but what I wanted to mean is that this is just local. It's not gonna update online. So then we load the data. Oh, I received everything in a block. I can tell you're in public. Sorry if it takes a really long time to reach me, you know, between the the delay and the public delay, the public connection delay. It's gonna take forever. Oops. Sorry, I wanted to check my... Whoa. I wanted to check my mails and then the other desktop, and it kind of broke. Okay, there we go. So now we've got a new save data. This one is data that has been I don't know why I say CD. Oh yeah, kubedata save data. So this is the data that has been saved. So first, we want to make sure we could load this data. If we haven't been able to load it, we need to requeue. So if something goes wrong, like if we don't have internet, if something goes wrong, we want to requeue it, so it's going to get updated as soon as possible. So we load, get the data. If it's alright, we're gonna update the save data. Before we push it. And then we're gonna save the game asynchronously. So if the save failed, do this first. Don't care about dirty because that's not in this class. If something fails, we have to do the same here. So we're gonna enqueue the element. If it goes right, we need to do this, .callback. We said everything went fine. I might add int try counts. Not entirely sure. At some point it gave up. Nah. So to be honest, this is never gonna fail. So we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this, because this is never gonna fail. Just gonna call back one day or another. Yeah, I had an empty callback too, so that was stupid. Because I wouldn't have compiled. So yeah, we save. It works. Callback. This is just one bit we gotta do. So we execute the callback of the order, and then, I mean, we say it's not executing. Execute the callback. Maybe this is gonna save. Yeah, maybe this is gonna add a save. So that would be cool. Yeah, like this is cool. I can actually like do a continuous save system. Like every time a save is done, you push another save and another save and another save as soon as possible. Kinda like that. Why? Okay, I saw it took forever to reach YouTube. Oh, the thread. So yeah, you can do a continuous save system if you want. Like in the callback, you can ask for another save. But anyway, once this is done, save order queue.count. Yeah, we check if we have a save to do, and we execute it. If we don't have any, it's still gonna stay here. We're gonna get out of here, here. It's gonna be a success. You can just return active, but this is gonna dequeue this, and yeah, it's gonna be fine. So here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change this with a boolean, a stop element equal false by default, so I don't have to change it here. And if this is a top element, I'm gonna do it slightly differently. I'm not gonna enqueue. Don't know how I could do that. I think I'm gonna have to dequeue everything. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Really, Andy? You have been loaded for half an hour now. Really? You gotta be kidding me! So I'm gonna try look online. Why is this taking forever? Half a minute and it's not started yet? This is ridiculous. Half a minute. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna be able to show you what I'm doing then if I'm on the phone if this doesn't start. And the worst thing is, it eats all my memory, all my processor. And some part of my memory too. This is really annoying. It started. This is ridiculous. Yeah, so what I want to do here is I want to dequeue everything. Probably do something like that. I'm gonna save everything, then I'm gonna clear. So it's empty, then I'm gonna enqueue the order, and then I'm not gonna use a for each because for each has an issue where the element you instantiate is gonna be dropped. I was about to say, I don't know what C3 is. Well, it's completely different. I mean, the only thing in common would be the syntax, I would say. And, well, they do share some small elements. So, can you hear me, Steve, actually? Because if I've got to type everything, it's gonna take forever. So yeah, I was saying I'm not gonna use a for each, because if you do a for each, each time it's gonna loop, all the memory allocated for the element in the loop will be wasted, and this is gonna make some garbage memory, and this is gonna make the garbage collector task longer, which is not what I want, because this might get executed not that often, but still often, and every memory that you can spare, every garbage memory you can spare is a good thing. Especially if it's just a small habit like that. So I'm gonna loop on this, and I'm gonna enqueue each element, which hopefully are gonna be in the order. Look, when I press up, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, that should do it. So here, I can enqueue an order. The order I have now as top element. Yeah, that should do it. By the way, yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna get mad at this at some point, because it really took, now it's took 40 minutes, has been taking 40 minutes. Oh sorry, it has been loading for 40 minutes. I cannot speak English. So this update save data is just to apply on the save data the order. Actually, it's gonna be apply order. This is more like it. So I apply local, and then I apply the loaded save before we send it. This is saved save data. It's loaded save data. So save current game sync. There is a callback. Sorry, but what am I doing here? Saver, save, current game save. Which means I've got to do save manager, that instance, I don't care about that. Actually, I am save manager, so I don't need this. Just need this. Current game save equal this. Current game save, yeah. Just gonna make sure I'm not, yeah. This, for instance, current game save. And now this is gonna save it. Yes, that's what I want. Frack you, Andy. And I also need to do this everywhere. So basically every time I'm executing, false, 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 so I'm making sure I won't get stuck. Yeah, that should do it. Now I've got to replace all these elements. So here it can fail now because this function is supposed to do other stuff. Thing is, this function are used by the user interface. That's why I've got to use such explicit names, because I can't do everything I want with them. But I know they are also used by some elements like the character controller. So yeah, gotta remove all that stuff. I'm gonna make sure my YouTube chat is not like days ago, days behind. Where's my chat? Okay, here's the chat. There we go. Just gonna do a quick check online. Alright. Back to coding. So just gonna make sure that with this function, this function, this function, these are the three functions that actually modify the save. So we're gonna clear this. We're gonna take oh yeah, I've got to change this. I think this is in the scene here. Save manager, yes. That one. Oh yeah, it's save folder. Why? It's public. What's wrong? Man, it's public. Oh, it's a private set. Okay. Now it's a protected set. And everybody is happy. Yeah. No? Yes. Yeah. And they still nope. So need to update this one to use the save manager, cube disaster. Apply. Save the scene because why not? And there we go. So I take this. Save manager, cube disaster. Okay. So one thing that's gonna be very annoying is that this is not gonna be the right class. So consume is going to be clone point delta, consume is going to be a minus, so it's going to be minus amount, and the callback gets equal here. And Steve, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm not receiving anything from you. Might be a connection that's broken. So once this is done, okay, first I'm gonna make sure that I can consume a clone point. if this is below 0, never mind. If this is below or equal to 0, I cannot consume a clone point, and I'm gonna return false. Actually, to callback false and return, because I cannot consume a clone point. Then here, once this is done, gonna return a callback true, because when it's done and it's working. So I already said this cannot fail, it's just gonna be delayed indefinitely unless it works, because I believe this is how you're supposed to handle the safe mechanism of gold play. I mean, that's how you're supposed to do it, but I mean, that's how it works, but I'm pretty sure you don't need to use a queue. I'm pretty sure you could just update and push bits of updates online. But yeah, let's try this first. So we say true. This is the only thing we gotta check. Yes. So after we've done that, so when we say clone point delta, it's gonna create an order. So I'm gonna put 2 callbacks. It's gonna be a read callback and a done callback. So why I want to do that? Actually, it's gonna be start callback and a done callback. So why? Because I want to be able, as this is gonna emulate some stuff like incrementing the local. So the incrementing, for instance, where is it? Max level clone points delta, yeah. Like incrementing the clone points, or this, setting this. This is first gonna do it locally and then gonna be online. Yeah, that's something I forgot to do in this, that's why it wasn't working, but never mind, this is gonna work fine. Yeah, so as is it updating the local save, here I want to say update the rendering. This is why there the M is dirty. Need to change this. Need to update this. This too. Here is going to be a done callback, and here is going to be order.start callback. So as soon as the local data has been updated, I'm going to call the start callback to say, hey, I've started to treat the order. You can say emulate stuff. Yeah, first this. Here it's gonna be set dirty. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna set you dirty. So you update your local. You update your look, sorry. And then we're gonna set callback is true. No need to set dirty here because we haven't done anything. And we're also gonna set dirty before calling the callback. And I believe that we replace this whole chunk of code, which is very undigest. That's what you say. This, and we're good. Actually, we're gonna say true because this is not a fail. We just don't need to increment the clone point. If it's already at maximum value. So I'm just gonna do this. Basically, if we're gonna get over 10, we just scale the amount to not get over 10. Like, let's say we've got 8 clone points, and I say I want to add 3, which would give us 11. We're gonna get here, this is gonna be 11 is gonna be bigger than 10. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say 10 minus here it's 8, which is gonna give us 2, and 2 is gonna be the perfect number. Just in case, it's not a lot. It's not gonna take any resources, and it's just gonna make sure it's never going to go up or down 10. I know we already have a clamp here, but at least it's done here before doing anything else. At least it's done. Now we're gonna do this. Stop lagging, please. I'm just gonna take this to do this. Here the issue is gonna be that the max level unlocked. It's gonna be that max level is smaller than that. We do not allow that, even though we do check here, as I said. Even though we check it, it's gonna be true still, because it didn't fail, it's just not possible. And there we go. And it's so much cleaner, man. So much cleaner. So now I've got to update the bits that have these elements in it. And there is some here and some here. Just wonder if I'm not modifying the current save somewhere else. Nah, I shouldn't. I should not. Yeah, I'm not. Great. Yeah, many of these elements will never fail. The callbacks, I mean, will never fail, I know. It's alright. At least we can have some more error things. And the still loading. Almost an hour to start. Maybe I will be able to test my code on it before the end of the stream, if we are lucky. So for now, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to test on my phone. You guys are not gonna be able to see anything. But if the emulator doesn't start, there's nothing I can do. Just waiting for Windows to be okay with the phone. Right. I'm not sure if this is gonna work because ND start is started. Sorry. We're gonna see. If that doesn't work, I can always push it manually. It's not a big deal. So just to resume how the thing works now. Actually, wait, did I haven't changed what I should have changed here. These elements, so you consume a clone point. If it doesn't work, you return to main menu and you're not clear for start, otherwise you do it here. This should almost never be cool, right? I mean, when does something fail? Only on consume, only when you consume a clone point and you cannot do it. That's the only moment. Ouch. Hi. This can fail actually. This can fail if so I'm just gonna clamp it to -1 because we don't need to know more about that. So if loaded save data dot clone points is below 0, then there's a problem. And we say order dot done callback. I'm gonna give it false. So indeed the done callback can fail in some very specific situations. Okay, this one cannot fail. This one can fail. Yeah, wow, yes it is indeed, dude. I'm pretty sure we're around 15 to 20 minutes of delay. Sure, please do. I should still be around. If I'm not there, I'm just probably eating something while the game compiles, because I might be done with this. This will never fail, but I've got to do this because it's a generic. Merci. So this is on that callback true and true. Who are you? Oh yeah, no, I'm not executing callback here. Think that should do it. Now I can come back here, and in here I'm gonna say bool success, and I'm gonna put success here. And I'm only gonna update the user interface if there's a success. If there is no success, it's unlikely something changed. Actually, it doesn't hurt. Don't think it's gonna change anything. Same here. Bool success. So earn clone point. That one should always be a success, but you know what? You never know. That way, I know it's gonna work. So yeah, here this is the only moment it should be able to fail, because the amount of clone points you gave is not valid. You try to remove this, is not valid, like you don't have enough. So, there is a failure, it's gonna be handled. Yes, that works. And here, if there's a failure, it's handled. Here, if there's a failure, it's handled. Also, I'm actually going to do this. That way, I only have one function to handle both cases. don't know if I can do that. Yeah, pretty sure I could not do that. Can I do that though? Yes, I can. That's great. Okay, so there is a small problem. I'm gonna copy paste this. Okay, so the only problem I have here is that I'm not, like, the user is not supposed to know exactly how to spend, like, if he doesn't want to update the delta but you want to update the max level, he doesn't know how to do that. So here, consume clone point, earn clone point, push max level 2, and I'm gonna have the same function, which is gonna be something like that. I know that's terrible, but please, thank you. Don't know why my mouse sometimes stop working, which is not supposed to happen. Okay. And in this case, I've got to do all the checks. Okay, this is a terrible way of doing this. Terrible way of doing this. That's not the one I wanted. Didn't pay attention. Okay, this is the only message I really want, because I don't care about all these. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should do the checks here in that function. That would make more sense, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do it here. So that way it's done, and I don't have to do it here, because it's taking a huge amount of space, and there is a lot of repetition in it. There we go. Much better. Current game saved at clone points. Okay, so I'm checking the clone points. So actually apply order is not going to do anything, I think. Like for instance this is not really a good thing. This is good because there is nothing to do if you're trying to, like, This one, if you're trying to consume a clone point that you don't have, that's fine. I mean, that's not fine. We don't need to update anything online. It's useless. Same here. If you try to say, oh, max level is now 5, while actually the max level before was 10, then you just say, don't need to update it. It's fine. Here, however, this is different. And it should be done before applying the order. I think I'm a bit confused here. So yes, what I'm gonna do is this. Start and done at the same time. So if we don't have any clone point, don't update. If we are, could do that, don't update. If we already have 10 points, don't update. No need to. Then we know we have a safe situation and we apply the order. And actually this is not true. Because after that... Okay, so the differences between C, C++ and C Sharp. So basically C is very low level, I would say. I mean, it's not like assembler, but it's kind of low level because you're handling all the memory management by yourself. What I mean by that is when you want to allow a variable, when you want to work with a variable, you've got to decide if it's either going to be in a heap or on the stack. So on the heap, you've got to do malloc, and malloc is gonna push the heap, which is just a space of memory where your variables live. So it's gonna push the heap, it's gonna store the variable in it, and if you mess up this part, like let's say you need 8 bytes, 8 bytes to store your variable, and you only push the heap of 4 bytes, you're gonna have a seg fault, which means the computer telling to your program you're not allowed to write here. It's very complex to get the head around the memory allocation. I mean, it's not that complex, but it's not an easy task. Yeah, more like that. It's not an easy task. It needs lots of practice. It's very easy to get confused by this. Also, all the memory you allocate, you've got to free it at some point. Because let's say you read an image, right? A picture. You read a big picture, which is very big, like several megabytes. You've got to allocate space to store that image. So you allocate the space, you read the image. Let's say you were trying to read some text inside the image. You read the text, you extract the text, and then you don't really need the picture anymore. So what are you gonna do? If you're a bad programmer, you're gonna say, I don't care. If you're a good programmer, I mean, if you're just someone who knows how to program in C, you should free everything. And this is another part which can get very tricky, where you can get other problems. If you free memory that has been already freed, it's gonna crash your program. Anyway, this is a hard language. C++ aims to be a bit more easier, I would say, a bit more. You want to get rid of some really annoying problem with the C, and add objects. So in C++ you've got object management, which means that let's say I'm just gonna write something here quickly. Let's say I can say class test class, and you're gonna have for instance an int and a char, an array of char, which means the text, stuff like that. And when you're gonna do, you also need a constructor. And when later on you're gonna do new test class, and let's say a equal 42, and let's say I'm just gonna initialize it here. So when you do that, it's automatically gonna be handled here. So when you do new, you don't have to care about computing the size of this and then allocating the memory. Like, this is C++. If I wanted to do that in C, and let's assume I would have the class keyword, which is not the case, but let's assume I do have it just to make it simpler, I would have to do something like this. So malloc, I don't exactly remember how does that work. I don't exactly remember the man. I believe it's gonna be 1, and then the size of your thingy. So test class. Hang on, let me just check the man of malloc, because I haven't been doing C for a while, really. So I don't exactly remember the parameters. Okay, just the size. So I don't need the 1. I think there is a variant where you can precise this if you want to allocate more than one element, but yeah. And you're gonna have something like that, which is a small pointer. And yeah, also I can add functions like hello, which is gonna do some let's say the function exists, because you probably don't really know how does that work, but just let's say echo print something on screen, right? I can do test class equals this, and then I can do test class dot hello, and that works. If I've got this, I am not allowed to do this. I've got to have a hello function somewhere, which takes pointer to my thing. Actually, should be typed. Should be a structure, should be a pointer and structure. Anyway, that's C, much easier, implement the objects, because I think I'm going way too deep on something I shouldn't be talking about. And C# is a language made by Microsoft. It's a language made by Microsoft which aims to implement, to get rid of all the memory management, because memory management is not something easy for everybody and is very error prone, while also implementing a system which allows the language to run on any platform like Java. So it's a mix between Java and C++. It's like you take C++, you add the cross-platform capabilities of Java, you get rid of the memory management, and you got C#, which on the paper is a great thing. I mean, it's like what everybody was dreaming about C++. The two annoying points about C++ is memory management and cross-platform. Even though memory management is a great thing when you know what you're doing, for most people it's a problem because they don't know what they're doing and the program is very slow and buggy and crash and everything. So C++ was also a pain to compile on different platforms. Like, let's say you want your program to work on Windows, Mac and Linux. It's a pain, really. Like, the libraries are different. Let's say you wanna, I don't know. I'm trying to think about function. I don't remember the function. Yeah. So C is not. C++ is OP, object-oriented programming, and C# is object-oriented programming too. Also, C# gets rid of pointers and only use reference, which means that if I've got a function like that, and I give my object, and assume my object has an element, has an integer a, for instance, I can do that, and when I call test function I give an object in parameter, it's gonna change the value inside. However, if I do this, this is not gonna work. If you want this to work, you either need to say it's a ref to actually give true reference, like which means you can actually modify this object, or you need to pass an out, you need to tell him it's out, and in this case you have to assume the object hasn't been initialized yet, so you have to do this before doing this. This is very similar to Java. I think Java has an out keyword but doesn't have a ref keyword. If you want to pass something in reference, you gotta trick a bit, you gotta cheat a bit and do something like you gotta declare an array and put your object inside, and that should work. And here you gotta do this and so you need to use C# because it's cross-platform. So at the root, very deep root of the engine, it uses C++. Hang on. Hey Chris. So at the root of the engine, it uses C++. I mean, some elements are in C++ for performance issue. Performance matter. But then, if I show you the build settings, I can build in many different targets. You can see consoles, you can see TV, you can see web, phones, phones that are not used anymore, PC, whatever. So this is the main force. That's why it has become so common to see people using Unity, especially now that Unity is a much better engine than it used to be. But the main argument was first cross-platform. If we do this if you want to program on Unreal, it's a much different issue. It's a much different workflow, and you are not allowed to export on everything like that. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it's much harder on Unreal Engine than on Unity. I even remember that at some point, like a year or two ago, you could build on Nintendo DS, Wii, Wii U. Now you need a license, so it's hidden, I think. But yeah, to do that, they were not gonna program in C++ and cross-platform and make everything cross-platform on like 20 or 30 different platforms. That would have been a mess, and it would have taken years and years just to adapt to a new platform. I mean, the engine is huge. So what they have done is they're using .NET and Microsoft .NET, yeah. And the .NET platform is basically wait, is it the .NET platform? I don't want to say anything stupid, but basically they use C# because it allows them to be cross-platform. That's the shortest way to say it. Yeah, .NET is a framework, and this is what they use to run on every platform. And then for the other platforms, they just, like, to make it simple, .NET in the end, no matter what language you're using, if it's a .NET language, like you can use C++ if you want. It's a different C++. It's kind of a hack of C++, but you can use it. Yes, it does, I think. I don't remember exactly the limitations. I think the limitations are mainly commercial. Yeah, commercial supports, and you're not allowed to use the online build system. What I mean by that, you can build in cloud. If you have the professional version, you can have a cluster of computers that can build your game, so it runs faster. But yeah, just to make it simple, .NET, when you compile it, it's gonna render into one language, and this language is very easy to convert. And yes, we're using Personal. You can see it here. we're using personal because we're not aiming to do a big number, it's our first game, and yeah, it's fine using the personal version. But as soon as we get the money, we're gonna buy a license, because of course, this is what we are aiming for. However, we might be using Unreal Engine in the future, so it's still up to debate. Because we have been using Unity for years, and we're not everybody is used to Unreal Engine, so we need to check. We need to make sure everybody knows how to use it. However, if you want to make something beautiful, it's so much easier to use the Unreal Engine. I mean, the lighting is fantastic on the Unreal Engine. Unity lacks a lot of features on lighting. Like, I mean, it's not even features; it's quality. Like, if you implement a let me just, I think it's how is it called? I mean, you can use you can After Effects, but it's much easier to do in Unreal Engine, in my opinion. Hang on, it was, how is it called already? I know Substance Designer, they have just updated this and this, the trailer. So just a short comparison. It's not meant to be the case, but you can see the same model imported in different engines, and as you can see, it's out of the box much cleaner on Unity, on Unreal than on Unity. I mean, this looks like plastic, this looks like real human skin, like especially here, it's not shiny or anything. Like you can make your own ID, but this is just out of the box. Every time I've been importing models in Unity, it looks kind of artificial, and every time you import them in Unreal Engine, even though I had like a very cubic model, it looks incredibly realistic, without even trying to do anything special with it. It's just that the lighting computation is just insanely good. You can actually get this result in Unity, but you need to put some work in it. So it depends. If you have very good artists which knows how to use Unity, just stick to Unity, but since we don't have artists, it's pretty easy. It's whatever we prefer. And also Unreal Engine in C++, which we like better than C#. On the other hand, as I said, the Unity engine is much better when it comes to cross-platform, so sure, no problem. I can get very patient. Is that what you say? I can lose myself in my explanation very fast when I talk about that. I just love C++, C#, all that stuff. You know, I really love that. So sorry if it took a long time to explain something and stuff. Thank you very much. But you don't have to, just do it if you like it. Yeah, thank you very much. See ya, Steve. Well, I do enjoy seeing people code too. If I weren't doing so much programming, I would enjoy it even more. But yeah, I can understand. If you, in case, I don't think it's shown in YouTube, but just in case you see here, I'm streaming from Monday to Thursday, from 1 p.m. UTC to 7 p.m. 5 p.m. UTC. Yeah, in case you want to see my schedules, you can see them on my Twitch channel. I haven't updated my YouTube channel yet, but I didn't post it here. Yep. See ya, Steve. Okay, building time. So, is Andy working? That's a freaking joke. Really? No, loading for 1.5 hours and still not up. That's a joke. And it's eating my computer processor. Like, it hasn't eaten for years. I don't know what I just said, but... Okay, I think I'm just gonna quit it, because compilation is gonna be taking forever now. Okay, you know what, Andy? I hate you. Just die. I'll try to figure out what's wrong with Andy when I can. Used to be working fine. For some reason it's not anymore. I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna be right back after this building. So this is gonna take 5 minutes or so. Be right back.
catch the wall. Catch the wall.
can stay right here, we will play until somehow you can find a slightly different frame of mind. Right here in my arms, away from all harm, you'll be safe from all the flares, although I know you don't care. You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. When they say you will fall, you can reach nothing at all. Hide your tracks beneath the rind of a different frame of mind. Is that what you heard? Broken words in the dirt, yelling up into the sun. Here we come, here we come. Here we come, here we come. Here we come, here we come. You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. And when the light comes through, when that day isn't you, then it will be time for a new frame of mind. When all eyes are on you, you will know what to do, since you will have found your new frame of mind. When you lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines, but always know that you'll be safe. I'll be here throughout your days. Come find me and we will play.
wish your face would fade away. All of the hours, all of the sleepless nights, all of the worry trapped under blinding lights, all of the faces blank as the room is bright. We take it out just to prove wrong from right, just to prove wrong from right. Just like birds on the wire, strung out but never tired. When the flames grow higher, we'll soar up from the fire and start again. All of the hours, all of the sleepless nights, all of the worry trapped under blinding light, all of the faces blank as the room is bright. We'll take it out just to prove wrong from right. And we'll hold on. Keep your back from the road. And we'll save our sorrow till we know they're gonna send us home. Just like birds on the wire, strung out but never tired. As the flames grow higher, we'll soar up from the fire and start again. And we'll hold on. Keep your back from the road. And we'll save our sorrow till we know they're going to send us home. Just like birds on the wire, all of the hours, all of the sleepless nights, all of the worry trapped under blind.
it consume me, I let it control me. I'll always be lonely, I'll never be fine. If life is a movie, it's always so boring. Where is the story? I hope it gets better with time. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time. Don't look back when I call you, but does that mean that you don't care? Go back to when I saw you, your beautiful eyes with a deadly stare. You think I'm stupid, but I get it now. How long can we make this go? It won't hurt to let it out, baby, 'cause I got to know. Don't break away, 'cause I want to stay, 'cause I want to stay. Don't break away, 'cause I want to stay, 'cause I want to stay, 'cause I want to stay. Don't break away, 'cause I want to stay, 'cause I want to stay. Don't break away, 'cause I want to stay, 'cause I want to stay. I let it consume me, I let it control me. I'll always be lonely, I'll never be fine. If life is a movie, it's always so boring. Where is the story? I hope it gets better with time. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time. 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 Time. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time. I hope it gets better with time. I hope it gets better with time. I let it consume me, I let it control me. I'll always be lonely, I'll never be fine. If life is a movie, it's always so boring. Where is the story? I hope it gets better with time. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time.
running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so